When you're talking about beers that are consistently good from the supermarkets, you've got to include Salt Brewery. And this beer is a new one from Salt called Huckaback, and it's available part of Tesco's new range of craft beers. £2.40 or 4 cans for £8. But what does it taste like? Check out the review to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going to be reviewing this beer. This is from Salt. It's called a Huckaback and it's a New England IPA. It's juicy, it's hazy, well that's what it says on the can, and it's 5.5%. Now for a New England IPA, I think 5.5% is a bit low. But, you know, obviously it depends on what the flavour's like. If the flavour's there, then does it really matter if it's 5.5 or 6.5 or even 7%, which we've had New England IPAs at all different levels of alcohol content, but this I think is probably one of the lowest. I mean, we've had pale ales, I think New England pale ales at this sort of level. So, as I said, Salt Brewery, they are, I think they're one of the most consistent. I mean, Northern Monk, North Brewing, and Salt, they're the three brands of beer that when Tesco's or Morrison's release a new beer, they're the go-to ones. They're the ones that I know are going to be good. You know, sometimes they're going to be great, but they're always good. So if you think of the last release of beers, we had Tram, which was a double IPA. We've had ICAP, which is a double IPA as well, both from Salt. We've had a Salt collaboration with Palmer Island. That wasn't bad. That was a Tesco beer. And they do seem to make really good, consistent beers. There's also a Salt and Brewdog beer that's coming into Tesco soon, and there's another one that I'm looking forward to. That's a New England IPA. And if you go on the Salt website, they've got new beers. They've got one called Denim coming out. So they do, you know, you can't miss a Salt beer. They all have this sort of honeycomb artwork on. This one's obviously red. We did have a Salt beer in the Beer 52. It was called Bonneville, and it was almost a similar sort of colour to this. It's not the same beer. That wasn't a great pale ale, if I'm being really honest, but it wasn't a supermarket beer. But supermarket beers with Salt are good. Now, the last review I did, if you're watching these as they're released, was the Mallow Laser Quest by Brewdog. And after I did the video, I realised that I was going on a bit too much, and it was a bit longer than a normal video. And I've realised I'm already going on for 2.5 minutes already, and I haven't even got the beer ready into the glass yet. So, try and make this one a little bit shorter, and I'll get this beer into the glass and see what it's like. I haven't seen any other reviews of this one. I'm quite surprised. You know, there's loads of reviews out there for certainly the Brewdog one, the Vocation one that I haven't even tried yet. But this one I haven't seen so much of. But I'm looking forward to this one. As I say, I actually bought this one as part of the 4 for £8. I thought, yeah, it's going to be good for £2 New England IPA. Why not? So beer in a glass. We've got a lovely sort of deep golden orangey yellow sort of big hazy New England IPA. I mean, it looks it's a little bit darker than your normal New England IPAs, and you can see in the glass it looks like it's got a nice thick body to it. 2 fingers of white, very compacted head there. Yeah, it looks great. Let's see what it smells like. Yeah, I mean, straight away I'm getting much more sort of stone fruits in there. So there's a lot of peach, mango, and a little bit more peach. It's very, very peachy, actually. And then there's a sort of, I can just sort of sense a subtle sort of citrusy, sort of lemony sort of aroma as well. It smells pretty damn good, actually. Let's see what it tastes like. Cheers, everyone. Flavour, very similar to the aromas. Strong stone fruit flavour. Peach. It's almost overwhelming with peach. There's a little bit of mango in there as well. It was it reminds me a little bit of the Jungle Trip one that we had from Dun Beer Factory. Mouthfeel, it's probably I'd say it's got a medium mouthfeel, pretty low levels of carbonation. But again, loads and loads of real sort of quite strong flavours. And it's one of those sort of beers, although it doesn't taste strong, because there's no bitterness there. There's no hot burn or anything like that gives you indication that it's strong. But it's packed full of flavour. As I said on a previous video, the last run of beers that we had in the supermarkets, well, probably even the summer release, they seemed a bit too light and a little watery, but this has got so much flavour. It's amazing. It's only 5.5%. Yeah, it's lovely, that. Nice and peachy. It's almost like, dare I say it, it's almost like a little version of the ICAT salt. It's got those sort of flavours in it. It's got that sort of body in it. But it ain't 8.8%. I'm sure that there was 8%. I'm sure there was 8% on the nose. Not 8%, 5.5%. But it tastes like almost like its little brother. I do wonder whether it's been brewed like that and then sort of brought down in terms of the alcohol content. But it's very similar in flavour and very similar in body even. It's a cracking beer, and I'm really glad that I bought this bought 4 of these for £8, because £2. New England IPAs, I've spent nearly £6 on New England IPAs, and this is another really good version. I mean, I do like my New England IPAs with a little bit more lighter, a little fresher, basically more pineapple and a bit more citrus. This is really heavy on the stone fruits. Now, if you like those stone fruit flavours, and again, I've mentioned that double IPAs seem to be more around those stone fruit flavours opposed to those sort of lighter citrusy flavours. And this has that sort of flavour. So it's a cracking beer. I'm not going to go on too much about it. All I would say is give this one a try. Certainly, if you like New England IPAs, it's another cracking beer. I mean, I'm amazed at how good this release is. The Brewdog, not so great. The £5 Omnipolo Buxton, yeah, not worth the £5. But these ones, this one, the Buxton, the London Beer Factory one, those 3 certainly that you can buy for £2, and the More Monk one at £3 is just a little bit a step above them, but all cracking beers. I'm looking forward to the vocation. So let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for New England IPA, Huckaback from Salt Brewing. 5.5% New England IPA. It's a cracking beer. Get it for £2. If you buy it, it's £2.40. If you get, this is part of it. If you got a club card, you get it for £2 if you buy them individually. But you can buy a box of 4 for £8, and it's fantastic value for money. But we'll start with aroma. So the aroma in it, although not jumping out at you, there's definitely that sort of peachy, apricot, bit of mango, stone fruit, very sort of heavy. Not the biggest aromas, but certainly a nice pleasant one. So I'm going to get 13 for aroma. Appearance, well, it's a lovely orangey colour. It looks really great in the glass. You can see the nice lace in there. You've got a little bit of head still sort of retained. Yeah, I mean, it's a solid 8 out of 10 really for appearance. Flavour wise, well, like the aroma, we've got a lot of stone fruits. We've got peaches. We've got mango in there. There's not much else. There's no pineapple. I'm not getting any sort of grapefruit. I'm not getting that refreshing, crisp freshness that you get with citrus. There was a little bit of lemon I thought I sort of smelt in the aroma, but there's not really. It's difficult to pick anything citrusy in the flavour. So it's got this slight sort of chewiness about it. It's got a quite thick, medium to sort of thick body, low levels of carbonation, and it has that sort of real flavour. Like the stone fruit flavoured beers usually have that sort of chewy almost flavour to it. You know, it really sort of wraps itself around the sort of taste buds really, and so you can really taste it. And it's got a nice dry finish. So I'm giving it for flavour 35. It's pretty good. Value for money. Well, again, you know, I've got to give this a 10 out of 10. It's a £2 New England IPA that's full of flavour. It's amazing value for money. I've never bought a New England IPA for £2 that's as good as this, ever. So it has to get 10 out of 10. And then my overall experience, well, it's a nice, if you like stone fruit flavours, you're going to love this beer. It's very hop forward. It's a very hoppy sort of beer. You can taste lots of hops. Unfortunately, the can doesn't tell us what sort of hops are in it, which I always find unfortunate. You know, come on, beer companies, put your hops on it. I want to know whether it's like, oh, there's a hop there that I don't usually have, but I really like the beer, so I want to try other beers. But, you know, it's unfortunate they don't put the hops in there. But it's a very hoppy type of beer. I would say there's definitely 2 or 3 different hops in this. It's not like Citra, or it's not just Eldorado or Galaxy or Simcoe or one of those. It's definitely got different hops in it because to create those different flavors. It's drinkable. It's flavoursome. I don't know, if I drank 4 of them, I think I want a little bit more freshness, so I'll knock it back a couple of points for that, but I'm still giving it 14 for my overall experience. Top those scores up. It's another Iron Maiden beer. 80 on the nose for this one. It's 1, 2, 3, what's the 4th beer? They're in the 80s. That's incredible, especially from supermarket beers. I mean, if I took 5 good beers from a bottle shop, I would probably, that I was paying £5 for, I would probably struggle to get all 4 of those over the 80 mark. So this is a really great beer. Salt, you've done it again. We do like Salt. They're up there, you know, with the Northern Monks, with the North Breweries, you know, whether they're a stable supermarket beer, I would say. I think if you were paying £4 or £5 for it, I don't know, you know, are they as good as that? Are we spoiled in the fact that we're paying this for £2? So if we saw another Salt beer that twice the price, we'd think, oh, it's a bit expensive. I don't know, but this is a good beer, so give it a go. I just want to say at the end of this video, if you're still hanging on watching, hopefully it hasn't been too long, this one, is that in another couple of days probably, I'm going to do the DIY Cadbury's Cream Egg Challenge. This is a thing that's been going on YouTube. If you're a big YouTube, watch craft beer videos, then you would probably have seen some. There was a beer come out by Goose Island last week that basically nobody could get hold of. And it was a Cadbury's Cream Egg Stout. So nobody could really get hold of it. They're so limited. I tried to buy it, and literally a minute after, I couldn't get on the site, and then a minute later, they were all gone. But it was going to be expensive. It was going to be £5 for a can. You had to buy 2. Then you were paying another £5 on postage. So you're paying, it was going to work out at £7.50 a beer. So a lot of YouTubers said, well, actually, we could make one of those. And actually, the YouTubers that have reviewed it and did manage to get it said it wasn't really that great. So a lot of people getting a stout, getting their favourite stouts, and they're doing some, I suppose you could call it DIY brewing, really. But basically, what it means is that they're getting a couple of Cadbury's Cream Eggs from the shops, mixing them up, blending them up with another stout, and seeing if you can create a chocolate stout with a Cadbury's Cream Egg flavour. So I thought I'd try it. I mean, I love Cadbury's Cream Eggs. I love chocolate. Stouts, I'm not so sure. But I have a stout in mind. In fact, you know, it's going to be a stout that I haven't yet reviewed. So I haven't even tasted it, but I think it's got the profile. It's a new one out in Tesco's as well. So, yeah, let's give it a try. So hopefully I'm going to be doing a little bit of cooking, a little bit of brewing, a little bit of blending, a bit of mixing, and hopefully we'll get a nice chocolate Cadbury's Cream Egg stout. So stay tuned for that. If you want to be aware when that video comes out, then please like and subscribe. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Keep on rocking.